I'm back, finally. Today has been one of those days where I've had company on and off all day long, and I had to run and go pick up groceries. So it took me a while to decide exactly what I wanted to do with these turnovers. So I figured it out. I am doing the Dutchman's puzzle. I think this is a beautiful way to use these flying geese. And it really shows off the fabric to the best. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so what you need to do is, I'm using pre-cuts. So like I said, I've had these forever. So take your 5-inch squares that we cut, and you want to cut these in half from corner to corner, okay? So when you cut those from corner to corner, you get these. So you just take one of your turnovers, and you could take a charm pack and just cut it in half. Just cut it in half. These are actually a little bigger than that. I think they're 6 by something. I don't think it says exactly. There's 80 triangles in here, so this is gonna make a really big, I think it's gonna make, it doesn't say, but I think these are a little bigger. They're like 6.5 or something like, anyway, they work perfect with charm packs, perfect. So take your half of a 5-inch square, and you want to take the long end, and I line it up like that. I line it up like that. You know, make sure it's all lined up. And I know we're working on the bias here. We're going to be trimming these down. So if you're not perfect, no big deal. It is absolutely no big deal. And I sewed these on another machine. And I did take these apart because, you know, I had some that were in a longer run. So I did take these apart, and they were sewed on a different machine. So I know that I'm probably going to run into a problem because the 1/4 inch is never the same on different. The 1/4 inch is never the same on different machines. So I know that I'm probably going to run into a problem eventually, with some being sewed on one machine and then these being sewed on this machine. And I will show you something else I did try. Let me get that sewed. Like I said, we're going to trim these down, so it's not vitally important that you know, your 1/4 inch is spot on perfect. And I really like making blocks like that that I can trim down. So I did make this, which I think I'm going to incorporate because it is the exact same size as my Dutchman's puzzle. So I'm probably going to stick that little block in there somewhere. And I may end up taking those blocks that are sewed on a different machine and putting them together in blocks like that. I temporarily confused myself there. So all we're doing is sewing down. I had 3 packs of these, so I have a lot. I have a lot. And, you know, some of the print I'm not the fondest of, and I don't think I'm going to sew this one. Actually, I did that one. But I'm going to put that one, and I may end up ripping that off, and I'm not going to use that because I'm not particularly fond of that print. So I am going to be a little picky with some of the prints. I think there's a couple. What am I doing here? Why is this not? Oh, it's because I'm doing it wrong. Am I doing it wrong? I'm doing it wrong. What am I doing? I've confused myself, which is easy for me. Trust me. There we go. Okay, hopefully you can see this. So I'm still working on my Dutchman's puzzle quilt, just sewing these half square triangles together. Hey everyone, I'm back. I'm still working. Oh, sorry, I do have the TV on. Let me mute that for a second while I'm sewing. I put on someone that I watch on YouTube, the last homely house. There we go. She lives, I think, in Northumberland in the UK. Anyway, I love following her, so I usually just put her, I'm going back and watching her old episodes. Anyway, she has been such an inspiration to me. So I am still working on the Dutchman's puzzle. I'm still sewing my flying geese. So I do have one triangle attached to one side. They have all been pressed. Some of the seams are pressed open. I normally press all of my seams open. I've never had any problems with any of my quilts with pressing the seams open. So, and the only reason why some of them are and some of them aren't is I got busy watching the last homely house and wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. But there's going to be such bulk up here where these come together that I really want to reduce the bulk when we go to put the block together. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. Now I am working on sewing this side of the triangle on. So let's see here. I'm just sewing away. And I've also been working on getting the kitchen ready to paint and took my mom and dad shopping. Actually, we went to Home Depot because I wanted to look at a gazebo thing that they had on sale. So we're going to sew that and sew a 1/4 of an inch. And like I said before, it's not necessary that you have to be accurate because we are going to trim these down. So we went to Home Depot. My daughter had come by and said that they had this gazebo thingy on clearance sale. And if I still wanted one, I need to go look. So they did, and they did have them. I didn't get one because I have to measure where I'm going to put it. I need it tall enough that I hang my laundry out to dry. The sun is a fantastic resource for decontamination, I guess, and bleaching, and just killing germs. The sun is a wonderful resource for that. And I do hang all of my laundry, well, I try to, except if it's raining, and then I throw it in the dryer. So, but I do hang all, and it makes your clothes last longer. I mean, you stop and think all the friction with it rubbing together, not only in the washing machine, but then you put it in the dryer and it's rubbing together in there too. So I hang out all my laundry. And I wanted this gazebo thing to go on the back porch where I have one of those umbrella laundry things. You can hang a ton of stuff on that thing. It was $50 at Home Depot. So I have one of those. But I want this gazebo, I want it to be tall enough so that my umbrella will fit up under it. So when it does rain, I could hang my clothes under there if the wind isn't blowing too bad. The wind usually always blows here. So I'm not sure that that idea is going to work, and I wanted to think about it for a day or two before I spend that kind of money because it was like $300. And I'm not sure that I really want to do that. And another thing about hanging your clothes out is I love the fresh scent. They never get a fresh scent right with perfumes. And but it does, it keeps my whites whiter and my clothes, you know, I hang my clothes out, and it also reduces my carbon footprint. So I do that too. So anyway, then we went to, I got my daughter an umbrella for her back patio area. She had wanted one. So we went and they had those on clearance sale. So I picked that up for her while we were at Home Depot and got her a base for it. The only thing she has to do is put sand in the base, and do not fill that up with water because during the winter time it will freeze and bust. So if you didn't know that, do not ever, and if you do put water in it, make sure that you empty it out before freezing weather sets in. So we did that. So Mom and Dad went with us up to Michelle's, and while we were up that way, we decided that we would stop by Grandma's Collectibles, which is a indoor flea market up here. Oh, and while I was at Home Depot, I got some beautiful ceramic pots for my indoor plants. I need to repot these before cold weather really sets in. I need to do it this fall, and I have some outdoors that need to be repotted as well. So I got these beautiful ceramic pots for to repot my plants in. So, And then while I was at the flea market, I found a pretty good size ceramic pot for $5, and that thing is like $85 at Home Depot. So I was tickled to death with my find. I'm all the time looking at thrift stores and flea markets and things like that. Indoor flea markets here are a thing. They're a big thing here. So I'm all the time looking for those ceramic flower pots, but I think I have enough. I don't do very many indoor plants because I love them to death. I do. I love them to death. I kill them. So the ones behind me, they let me love them to death, and they do very well. All right, so looking after Charlie Bug. He was bad and was licking his stitches earlier, so he has the collar back on. I take the collar off of him. It's one of those Elizabethan collars that they call them, you know, the cone thing. So Charlie Bug had surgery. He's neutered, but he had really bad surgery because he had one of his little thingies didn't fall like it was supposed to. So they had to do kind of like an exploratory surgery and find it and remove it. So anyway, he has a little incision on his little tum-tum, and he's not supposed to be licking it. And I caught him licking it, so he put the collar back on. He won't eat and drink with the collar on, so that's why I take it off. And I really monitor him and really, really keep a close eye on him, and he stays right by my side. He is my little buddy, so it's not like he's far away. And he's not supposed to be roughhousing with his brother, so if he has on the collar, he's not doing that kind of stuff. But he's a cat. I do my best, you know, to keep him from jumping on something. But again, he's a cat, he's an animal, and I just do the best that I can. But he's laying here sound asleep in a chair beside me because he can't be far away from me. He's my bud. All right, guys, so that is my Sunday. It is Sunday, October the 1st, and what a beautiful day, hot day it has been. I'm really hoping that the weather breaks and we get some rain, and it looks like we're gonna get some cooler temps by next weekend. Yay! Got some yard work to do, and so that's my Sunday. I wish I will be back as soon as I get these pieced together. All right, guys, have a wonderful Sunday and have a wonderful week.